sight. Hold my baby squid, keep him out of sight. Talking about my life, government, stay away. If you drive, I'ma do it my own way. Squid in the ocean, swimming all alone. Ain't nobody telling me where to go. Living free, gotta stay true to myself. No need for interference from anyone else. Squid pro quo, that's the way to be. Living on my terms, setting myself free. Mama to my baby, protecting with my no government intrusion. I control my life.
Hey everybody, it's Squid. Welcome back to my channel and my vocal fry and ASMR voice. I have my bone broth, so my water, my tissues. We're going to get into this. We still hacking up a little bit of a lung here. I have a script. I promise when I'm feeling better and my voice is back to normal and it does not pain me to talk, I promise I will do more members only stuff. I need to start recording video, growing my channel, because I've put little to no effort into my channel for the last like month and a half, be it based on real life stuff, not wanting to actually get sued by people who are litigation happy, and or then not feeling well. So life. If you didn't check out yesterday's stream, please check it out. I did a sort of a deep dive, or kind of scratched the surface on parasocial relationships, because I found out, well, I didn't find it. Okay, hold the phone, back up an inch or two. I was analyzing when I got dragged into some drama that I didn't want to be in, and I was getting mad at some people, and Mr. Squid looked at me and goes, "Why do you care?" And I looked at him and I was like, he goes, "It's YouTube. Why do you fucking care?" And I started looking at it and I was like, you know what? I had some very parasocial relationships. I had a, you know, that parasocial lifestyle buddy. Yes. It's that situation where it's like, FYI, the stream is goofy. Good to know. Hold on, let me see if I can. We had some stuff here last night. We had an outage here last night. Like an actual outage where like our house, but like customers were outage, an internet issue. Let me hey girl, your connection is crap. All right, let me start my stream and see if that helps. I gotta close some of these damn documents because I have like 850 freaking things open. Did that help at all? So there we go. Oh. Real life has taken over. But I realized I had some parasocial relationships with some people that I was mad at them, or thinking that they should do things for me that I didn't deserve, and thinking that they were friends with me, and they were really much. And that goes back to this whole issue of how this whole thing got started. This whole thing is a giant parasocial relationship. This is aren't taking this seriously. Parasocial relationships. So if you didn't check out yesterday's stream, I'm sorry for the vocal fry. I will try not to Laura Owens my way through this. You might have to ASMR, get some ASMR time. But I figured it out. And it's like that is in my opinion, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not God's gift to knowing everything. I do not know everything. I do not even know a little bit about a lot. However, I think, in my opinion, that is why law enforcement doesn't take anything on the internet seriously. This whole thing is a giant clusterfuck. Yes, your internet is crap now. Hold on, I'm gonna refresh myself, but I'm also going to go turn off something that I think might be interfering with the issue. For some reason, whenever I have family over here and we have people over in the morning, it seems to mess with it seems to mess with my internet. I don't know if it's somebody's device that interferes with it. I don't know. But we're going to try this one more time, and I'm going to go shut something off. I will be right back.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna.
Hey guys, hopefully that helps. We have some. Remember how I said there was a disturbance in the forest yesterday? Well, I think there's seriously like a disturbance with something, with tech, because everything's batshit crazy. I did sound. I've heard horror stories for a lot of devices just gobbling Wi-Fi. Yeah, and I think it's just some weird. Oh, I just got a text message from my internet service provider that said, my broadband has detected a service impairment in my area that could be affecting your internet service internet services. So it's not me. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've there's a disturbance in the force. There's just something. Even with a name attached to a post, you're still anonymous. Responses to your oh so special post do not have any meaning to you. I'm Wait, even with a name attached to your post, you're still anonymous. What do you mean by that? Am I missing something? I missed something. But anyway, as of yesterday, Bruce's lawyer, Cameron Atkinson, filed a response. So we are going to see what his writing looks like. Yeah. Jeremy's cell antenna has jammed the entire southeast. Blame Jeremy. That's why people can be asses. Yeah, and I think there's a thing with like people hiding behind screens and like online stuff. It's just people. Yeah, there's just it's different. Life is different now than it was back in the 90s because when we didn't have technology, you actually, if you wanted to talk crap to someone, you actually had to face them and talk to them specifically. And it's like now all you have to do is hide behind a screen, and it could be anybody. And there's been things where I thought I trusted somebody, and apparently I was starting to question some things, and I just kind of backed out of a situation. And I've had my name kind of dragged through the mud with that situation. But like I just didn't want to be involved because I don't know what's true and what's false. And in order to not spread misinformation or disinformation or be taken advantage of, I just, what is that Simpsons episode where somebody just backs into the bushes? Like exit stage left. I just don't want to be, don't talk about me, don't talk to me, just pretend like I don't exist. Yeah. So I'm kind of that person where I just back away, and it's all that parasocial relationships and manipulation. And I think that's why that a lot of people offline, because judges don't have social media. Most of them don't use social media because it could be seen as a conflict of interest with different things in their ethics. So they just don't have it because it's easier just not to have it than to try to navigate the fine lines of the ethics. But then not having it, they don't understand these parasocial relationships where I only have 3,900 subscribers. I'm a very small channel. But think about like you might think you guys know me because you see me and you talk to me and you know a little bit about my life. But if I were to walk by you in the street, or say we went to this grocery store and you were to just talk to me like you know me, and I don't know anything about you, that would make you feel pretty crappy. But I don't know you, and it's nothing personal. It's just that's that parasocial relationship. Think about Jeremy with 700,000 subscribers. I think that Lynette thought that she was friends with Jeremy because of this parasocial relationship. Whether she was a mod, I've heard she was a mod. I heard she wasn't. I don't know. I don't know what's true. But when people do that, it's like I remember my fourth grade teacher. My fourth grade teacher, I had one fourth grade teacher. My fourth grade teacher has thousands of students. She probably doesn't remember me, but I remember her because I only had one. So like you might think you're friends, and then when you meet them in person and you don't get that reciprocated, it's like it's kind of one of those like it hurts your feelings a little bit. And that's kind of going back to that conversation that Mr. Squid and I had, it was like, oh, that's why, because I have this relationship with someone online. I think I know them and I think I'm friends with them, but I'm really not. Okay, thank you. Like, I don't know the details, but it's kind of one of those situations where maybe when she met him, that she was such a viewer for so long, maybe he brought her comments up on the stream. And when someone brings your comments up on the stream, you think you're special. And it's like, it's not that you're not special. It's just, it kind of gives you that grandiose sense of importance. And like, but if I were to see you at the grocery store, I wouldn't know who you are. And it's nothing personal against anybody. And that's just the way the internet and this YouTube thing kind of works. So I'm wondering if that is kind of where this started. And that's one of the reasons why law enforcement, the judicial system doesn't take any of this shit seriously, and why people on the internet take this way too seriously. Because the internet has these parasocial relationships, and people who don't use social media, like our judicial system, do not understand these parasocial relationships. And it's these two worlds colliding that are completely opposite. And it's just it's hey Yamaha. I'm just wondering if that is like could kind of it's just like it's something I'd like to discuss with a psychologist, because it's like two worlds colliding, a world that has nothing to do with social media, our judicial system, and then a world that lives completely on social media, creators. And it's like they don't take each other seriously. And the law looks at it as, well, why are you taking this so personally? And these people, all these followers of Jeremy, all these followers of the Lees, and both sides are broken down into, well, I have a relationship with these persons, so when they get hurt, I get hurt. And it's like you feel like you're friends with them. And some people take advantage of those relationships and some people don't. And I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm wondering if that has something to do with why this whole thing got blown out of proportion and why it's bringing the crazy out of everybody. All right, let's get into just the reading of this document. And I'm probably not going to get through the whole thing because I do have to work tonight too. Thank God I don't have to talk to anybody while I work. But, yeah. Oh, my goodness. No, we're not going there. Alrighty. Just got bad goofy again. Sorry, I had to hack up a little bit of a lung there. Yeah. Sorry, everybody. All right, we're going to get through this hopefully as fast as possible. It's going to take me a couple of days to get through this. Yeah, you only need to read the first half. The second half just repeats. Okay. It all goes back to the unhealthy belief that you actually have a personal relationship with the media creators that I'm in. Yep, that's true. It's like Selena, the singer Selena that was murdered by her the president of her fan club in, I believe, 95 or 96. And I just bring her up because I remember because I was alive. But John Lennon would be another one. People that have these unhealthy relationships with people that they believe are friends with them and feel the same way about them and know them. They know the person, but the person doesn't know them. And when the person doesn't recreate those or reciprocate those feelings, shit goes crazy. So, I didn't see anything when I looked this morning, but I will look again before we're done. All right, everybody knows the plaintiffs, blah, blah, blah. The background, yeah. The footnote, all facts recited herein are taken from the plaintiff's amended complaint as required by the motion to dismiss standard and are in no way conceded to be true. Yeah. We'll see. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. I apologize. In Hales v. Preston, 1. The court noted that every motion or filing in this case seems to be beget another motion or filing. About 3 weeks prior to the court making that observation, Hales 1 beget this case. This case is the latest development in a years-long saga that has spawned multiple state court proceedings, a federal lawsuit, and now a second federal lawsuit. Plaintiffs, Elephant Shoe, blah, 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 allege they have operated a social media business to generate revenue through the publication of open video diary of Jeremy Hales' life. They also sell items that they salvage from storage units. Plaintiff alleges that in 2020, defendant Preston, once she moved there, she began to ask Jeremy Hales for help on various matters. Ugh. Hales obliged on several occasions before saying no to requests he deemed unreasonable. After Hales began saying no, Preston allegedly began making defamatory statements about Hales on social media in May of 2023. This kicked off a long saga of legal battles between Preston, John Cook, and Hales that spanned 2 states and involves multiple social media commentators. Ugh. But Selena did have a personal relationship with her fan club president and was her getting caught embezzling money that led to the unaliving when Selena fired her. Hey, Adelaide Lass. Apparently she posted it because she couldn't file it through Pacer. Interesting. Hey, Patrick, thanks for the $10 super chat. If you have to take the day to continue to recuperate, we'll understand your health is more important to the 72 parasocial relationships currently watching. Yeah, and there's only 72 people here, which I appreciate you guys because there used to be like, a couple hundred. And it's like when I stopped talking so much about this case, I figured out who actually likes me and who just wants the drama. So, he has filed all this crap before and it didn't fly then, so it's not going to fly now. Yeah, and and I understand that you have to, every defendant is going to file a motion to dismiss. It's kind of protocol in every court case. It's just like March 3rd of 2024, Jeremy sued Lynette and John in his court for a variety of claims. Defendant Bruce Meskin applied for permission to appear for them pro hoc vice. September 4th of 24, the court granted Matskin's application on September 5th. Litigation did not proceed smoothly, really, and resulted in a bitter and contentious discovery disputes and even necessitated the court supervising the remainder of Jeremy Hales' deposition. Boy. This does seem like it was written by somebody else. I don't know. I haven't talked to her in a minute either. I should probably message her today and see how she is. Life has gotten busy. And being sick, I've only cared about myself. I mean, Plaintiff subsequently filed this action on February 23rd of 25, claiming, among other things, that Maskin had tortiously interfered with their business relationships through various public comments about the pending legal matters and had been involved in civil conspiracy with other defendants in these matters. They filed an amended complaint April 28th that further facts will be supplemented below as necessary. I think a lot of people that stream during the day are going to lose a lot of viewers because kids out of school and summer activities. Yeah, that's true too. And hopefully, once the little starts getting better at bedtime routine, because she fights bedtime routine with everything we've got. And then when I end up doing bedtime routine with her, I end up falling asleep with her. So it's like my streaming at night goes out the window. Yeah. Yeah, that's you know, uh, I haven't been getting your notifications. I was unable sub to fix it last night. Came in here and here it came this morning. Well, good. I'm glad it worked. We were just talking about parasocial relationships again. That's a big topic. I need to dive a little bit deeper on that rabbit hole, but this is the start of um, Bruce's lawyer's response. Oh. Good night. 1:40 a.m. Boy, I got a text message from my server or my internet that says the outage in your area has been resolved. So hopefully. But this does. Okay. The thing that makes me think this wasn't written by Bruce is it actually is easy to read. As hard as it is for me to read right now, based on the fact that my voice is, I have vocal fry that I never intended on having. But it's actually easy to read. It's not like I'm not having to fight like my brain and my eyes and my brain are actually communicating. Whereas usually I'm like, what the hell am I reading? And I'm trying to like scratch my eyeballs out. So it's So, and it does look a little formatted a little better. Of course, we're still missing Gainesville division, but whatever. We're never gonna get that from 12b6. If I hear 12b6 one more damn time. As Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 12b6 motion challenges the legal sufficiency of the complaint. To decide it, the court accepts if the factual allegations of the complaint is true and considered when they are sufficient to state a claim to relief that is plausible on its face. Ashcroft v. Iqbal, 2009. While detailed factual allegations are not required, bare labels and conclusions and a formulaic recitation of the elements of a cause of action will not do. Bell, Atlanta Court v. Twombly, 2007. Instead, factual plausibility requires the plaintiffs to plead factual content that allows the court to draw a reasonable inference that the defendant is liable for the misconduct alleged. Iqbal at 678. Determining whether a claim is plausible is a context-specific task that requires the court to draw on its judicial experience and common sense. Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 12d also recognizes situations where it is appropriate to present matters outside the complaint. If, on a motion under Rule 12b6, matters outside the pleadings are presented to and not excluded by the court, the motions must be treated for one for summary judgment under Rule 56. The 11th Circuit, however, has recognized an exception to this rule and has held that a court may consider documents outside the pleadings without converting 12b6 motion into a motion for summary judgment if 1, the document is central to the plaintiff's claims, and 2, the authenticity of the document is unchallenged. Z. Davy Taylor and Horsley v. Felt. If the court treats this motion as 1 for summary judgment is appropriate when the movement shows that there is no genuine dispute as to any material fact, and the movement is entitled to judgment as a matter of law. Rule 12b6 is what Rule 26 was for Laura Owens. Pretty much. Like, if I hear Rule 26 and Laura Owens one more damn time, oh my God. Boy. I just don't see his lawyer putting up with his nonsense for very long, unfortunately. This motion is clearly not a BBB product, in my opinion. It's not. I think BBB told him what to write. But I believe that he's not being pushed around. And I believe also that this guy is younger, is not fresh out of law school, but like he he's he's fresher out of law school than Bruce. And I don't know. There's a thing about when I worked in the hospital about new grads versus people who had worked in the field a long time. There was like a happy medium there where it's like new grads have the latest and greatest information from the book, but the people who have been hands-on for a while have the most hands-on experience. So you kind of gotta, but does the having the latest and greatest book knowledge lead you to write better? Yeah. Owen's lawyer put his appeal with Rule 26 again. Oh, good Lord. That's one I haven't been keeping up with because I just don't have that makes me want to knock my head through the wall. Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 56A. A genuine dispute exists if the evidence is such that a reasonable fact finder could return a verdict for the non-moving party. Anderson v. Liberative Lobby, Incorporated, 1986. Facts are material if they form disputes that are irrelevant or unnecessary and may potentially affect the outcome of the suit. Count 5 fails to state a claim upon which relief may be granted. In the alternative, Matzkin is entitled to summary judgment on it. Interesting. Oy. You don't want to read Gingriss's appeal to the Arizona Supreme Court, then it's all Rule 26. Yeah. No, Gingress is another one of those sue happy people. And yeah, there's just some fights that, choose your battles. And Jeffrey Montgomery, thanks for the $10 super chat. Feeding the Pacer Fund, helping with the hard candy and throat lozenges you'll be needing for the next 2 weeks. Your health is more important than this dream, though. Take care of yourself first. Yes, it is more important than this dream. However, this is how I help my family pay the bills. So sometimes you gotta like my job is only 1 day a week. And so like I'm a stay-at-home mom. So like y'all right here, this is why sometimes this is why you get ads on my live streams. Sorry, I hate to do it, but like this is why, because this is how I help support my family. So I'm a disabled vet. Like you get what you get, Hey Kay, how are you? Long saga of legal battles, and maybe we had no part in delaying it. Yeah, no part at all. No, stay-at-home mom is a 24/7 job. That's your primary job. That's the important thing. Yeah, and she's around here somewhere. I hear her playing, so she's in and out. I see her run by the room. She's kind of in the. My mom was over here this morning, so she's kind of like, peopled out. That would be hey, not good with names. Thank you for whoever gifted me. You're awesome. That would be Hung Hero. He's our resident gift membership person. Oh. All right. Under Florida law, the elements of tortious interference with a business relationship are 1, the existence of a business relationship, obviously. 2, the knowledge of the relationship on the part of the defendant, and an intentional, unjustified interference with the relationship by the defendant, and 4, damage to the plaintiff as a result of the breach of the relationship. Crosswright v. Escambia Community Clinics, Northern District of Florida, 2023. As discussed below, the plaintiff's tortious interference fails for the following reasons. And living life with FND. Thank you for the gifted one quid pro quo membership. I appreciate that. And it went to Alita. And Chris, thank you for the £5. Get well soon. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. I found it. Lisa requested an extension. Of course. of course. It helps to think of social media people as business or casual associates. Some of those associates are closer than others. Friends are those we talk to more often and more personally. Yeah, and I also use it as like the the grocery store people. Like I see the same people in the grocery store every time I go. The same cashiers, the same stockers. Do I like them? Do I say hi to them? Yes. Does my daughter say hi to them? Yes. Do I like them? Yes. Are we friends? No. I don't know what their names are. Like I couldn't tell you their names if I couldn't tell you their names. I'm sorry. Like some of them wear name tags, some of them don't. It's not that I think they're bad people. It's not that I hate them. I think we also live in this black or white. Everything needs to be one or the other. And it's like, no, it's not one or the other. It's all in this like middle area. Like just because you're not friends with someone does not mean that you hate them. Like I use Jeremy as an example. I'm not friends with Jeremy. That doesn't mean I hate Jeremy. I'm just not friends with Jeremy. Jeremy and I don't text each other on a daily basis. Jeremy and I don't call up and say, "Hey, how's your day going? What are you doing tomorrow?" Like, "Hey, when are you coming to Florida next?" Like, you know, you know, you'd recognize that face if you saw it in public, would you? See, and some of that's the thing. Like, some of you might recognize me if you saw me in public, but y'all are behind a keyboard. I might or may not recognize you. It's not like it's it's not that I'm trying to be mean to you guys. It's just it's one of those things of like I don't we ain't that close, you know? It, and it's like it's not it's people take things way too if we're not friends, we must be enemies. It's like no, there's a gray area of like acquaintances or just, you know, like p- casual strangers. Like, you know, what are they like somebody who goes on the subway every day with the same people. You're not friends with those people, but like you have a connection to those people because you are on the same subway car every day. Do you have a connection to them? Yes. Are you friends? No. It's like there's a yes, there's a different thank you, Tracy. Yes, there's a difference between being friendly and being friends. Two different things. And not saying that I'm not friends with people is not a bad thing. Like you can't it's not like I'm not friends with everybody in the world. My next door neighbors, I like them. They're nice. Are we friends? I would say no. Like, do I want to be friends? Eventually, yeah. She's a nursing student. She seems really cool. She has 3 kids. One of her kids is about the same age as my daughter. I would love to be friends. But are we friends right now? No. But that doesn't mean I hate her. Like it's just, you know, yeah, right here. My friends are the ones that turn up at 2 a.m. if I text them with a shovel or ice cream, and the rest are acquaintances. Yeah. And I think we live in this all or nothing like world. And I think that's one of the reasons why the judicial world is not taking the YouTube world seriously. It's also why mainstream media doesn't take YouTube journalists seriously, is because um, it's like mainstream media doesn't generally interact with their audiences, whereas YouTube interacts with their audiences and has those relationships with people. I think Twitter was the first time when parasocial relationships became a thing because you could tweet at somebody, and when your favorite celebrity retweeted your what you said, it was like, oh my god, he likes me. It's like, no, he just thought what you said was cool and retweeted it. That's it. Like, mm. I'm a stroke survivor, but it's suffering with some short-term memory loss. I could not remember your stream name, and I have missed your views. Oh, Rick, hold on one second. I have a book on stroke recovery right down there. It's a Brunstrom's movement theory of movement or something like that. I haven't looked at it in a while. Stroke recovery used to be my favorite subject or my favorite group of people to work with. Y'all are fascinating. I love you. I empathize with you guys, but I love working with you because you guys are awesome. You're the most motivated. But I'm glad you're back. It's good to see you. And I love the picture. All right. Yeah, I had brain surgery, so yeah. Oh, when I got diagnosed with my Chiari, and like I would tell my coworkers, you know, when a patient tells you I can walk, I just don't feel safe walking because I don't know if my legs are actually going to hold me up. I know what that feels like. It's a scary feeling. So I felt like I had a link with my patients that I had never had before. So, you know, Ray Bone Crusher was served. That was a new thing from yesterday. Bone Crusher was served. So, yeah, it's scary if there's concrete. Yeah, that's true. Because, yeah, bones and concrete don't get along. All right, let's get back into this. As discussed below, the plaintiff's tortious interference fails for the following reasons. The plaintiff failed to allege sufficient facts to show business relationships with prospective customers under Florida law. 2, the plaintiff fails to allege any facts that show any of Matt Skin's alleged conduct or speech that caused a breach in their relationships with any customer. 3, the plaintiff fails to plead sufficient facts to show a breach of any relationship with any specific business entity. 4, tortious interference does not exist when an internet platform makes editorial decisions protected by Section 230. I was waiting for someone to bring this up. 230. He brought up Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. I'm surprised it took someone this long to bring up Section 230. I'm really surprised. I don't know the ins and outs of Section 230. I just know people throw Section 230 around when it comes to internet. But that's what makes social media interesting. In this case, so fascinating to me. As not only just someone who's likes loopholes, as you've seen, and finds loopholes and things, but also where does social media fit into tortious interference? And where does a Jeffrey Montgomery, I'm going to use you as an example. You super chatted me. That's a business relationship now. If somebody said something about me and you chose to no longer super chat me because they said I'm a horrible person or whatever they said, I don't know. Go talk to whoever talks shit about me. Go talk to the fleas or whoever's talking crap about me this week. I don't know. There's a ton of them. People don't like me. It happens. See how much I care. But it's this thing of like, where is that a business relationship now? Because you are now my customer, because you paid me for my services of giving you a live stream. I think this might actually write some new law or give us some new case law, because this is fascinating, because this is something that's never really happened before. And this is where the internet becomes this whole new let's see so where did that comment go? Let's Let's see them use Section 230 to warrant the revenge prawn that's been flaunting. Yeah, it's 230 has to do with whether okay, and I don't know for sure. I have read a little bit of it, but I don't know. I haven't read it in a long time. Section 230 has to do with whether a platform like Facebook is liable for what people post, or if it's the individual people who are liable for what they post, because Facebook or YouTube is just the platform. It's not, there's specific words that are escaping me right now. The brain fog is real. But it's it's one of those, like, yes and no. Technically it's a gift in YouTube terms and services, but their interference with your streaming gaining such gifts is where this lives. And that's the thing. It's that $1,000,000 question of the chicken or the egg, so to speak. Is that a business relationship, you super chatting me, and by someone talking negatively about me? Yeah, gray area clause. It's where the interpretation, it's like this whole immigration thing. Wherever you fall on immigration, um, doesn't matter. I don't care. That's not the point. It's the biggest contention that I see from just hearing people talk is the due process. Does the due process that is afforded in our Constitution, is our Constitution only for citizens, or is our Constitution for everybody? Or is our Constitution only apply to our citizens? There's the interpretation. So it's is the platform responsible for what the users post, or they're individually responsible? Facebook, YouTube claims Section 230, but they take down post videos that they disagree with. There. Thank you for explaining it better than me. It's not an easy discussion. And that's one of the things that I like about having this platform is I like to have these difficult conversations, because none of this is easy to talk about. There's no easy answers. And I think what this world wants right now is everybody wants easy answers. We want everything to be fixed like this. We want all the world's problems to be like a yes or no easy answer. And that's not the way life works. There's no easy answers. We need to have difficult conversations. And this is one of those difficult conversations where because if them talking negatively about Jeremy, and say I wanted to super chat Jeremy $100, and then all of a sudden I heard what they said about Jeremy, and I'm like, why would I give someone like that my money? I'm interfering with a business relationship. Is that, or is that not a business relationship because I'm giving him money to support a service? It's nothing is clear. Nothing is clear. And this is where the judicial branch has to interpret, and things get funky. I believe that JH platform at the time used Facebook and YouTube as his auction platforms, which saw significant losses as a result of the parties involved, to the point he had to move his auction to Whatnot. And here's more easily seen in memberships. That's also true too. Memberships are, but then where does it go with gifted memberships versus people who actually purchase their own memberships? You can, if you want to be I was always that kid that found loopholes. Like, technically, this is why I wanted to be a lawyer when I was a kid. I also wanted to be a me being a lawyer, I wanted to be a lawyer until I found out about the public speaking because I hate public speaking. Yep. So I started a YouTube channel. Make it make sense. But I also told my parents I wanted to be a personal or a physical therapist for the Green Bay Packers when I was 11. So, not good with names from thanks for the 5 pounds. F it. Yeah, it's all messy. And I'm pretty sure if my parents could go back and take away the day they taught me the word technicality or technically, they would remove that word from my vocabulary because that is the worst word ever. All of this is messy. All of it is messy. Matskin is entitled to qualified privilege for his statement to whatnot. Matskin's statements of opinion and hyperbole are entitled to First Amendment protection and are not actionable. And 7, the plaintiffs have made themselves public figures for First Amendment purposes and fail to show actual malice. Hi, beautiful. Would you like this? Have a hug?
Yeah.
I love you. Thank you. You're beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. The plaintiffs fail to allege sufficient facts to show a business relationship with prospective customers under Florida law. Boy. Oh. All right. Thanks for putting up with my this vocal fry. If my voice wasn't already annoying enough, now I have a vocal fry. The plaintiffs claim that Matskin's alleged conduct has interfered with customers' relationships. They also allege that they have lost profits due to Matskin's alleged conduct. They also plead they are a social media influencer who uses several online business platforms to generate revenue through a variety of social media platforms. Their business model is an open video diary of plaintiff Jeremy Hales' life combined with paid subscriptions to their social media channels online and whatnot auctions that sell items that acquire during storage unit hunts. I must say though, this is so much better written than what Bruce writes. It's easier to read. And he's putting the paragraphs in. I'm just not reading them because it's not relevant. Oh, it's the Demi Moore voice. It's the my kid's about to come out of the closet. She girl's got to go to the bathroom, but instead of telling me, "Mommy, I have to go," number 2, she puts herself in a closet, closes the door behind her. I listened to far worse, including a certain Welshman. Yeah, where is that dude? Where is that twat? What are you doing? She's got that scheming look on her face. The plaintiff's amended complaint contains no other allegations that shed light on their customers apart from vague references to subscribers and fans. Implicit in these allegations is that Matskin has somehow interfered with their business relationships with prospective customers and fans. But the allegations are insufficient to show the relationship required by Florida law to proceed on this theory. So his lawyer is basically saying, yeah, they said he was an asshole, but was he an asshole? An asshole is not being. It's not against the law to be an asshole. I'm trying. Sometimes I can see it coming. Well, one, you gotta try. And two, one, you gotta try. And two, I don't necessarily agree with the fact that he didn't put facts in there, but this is where I would need to put, not on a stream, put this document and the amended complaint side by side and actually compare. So Florida law clearly establishes that a plaintiff may properly bring a cause of action alleging tortious interference with present or prospective customers, but no cause of action exists for tortious interference with a business's relationship. This is grammatically incorrect, but relationship to the community at large. Ethan Allen versus Georgetown Manor Inc. Florida, 1994. Hey, Musi. For prospective customers, the plaintiff must allege a business relationship evidenced by an actual and identifiable understanding of agreement in which all probability would have been completed if the defendant had not interfered. And would emailing whatnot? I mean, I don't know. Seems like you were trying to interfere with something. The inescapable conclusion from the amended complaint's paucity of facts. Well, there's a word I haven't heard in a while. Regarding the plaintiff's customers, fans, and prospective customers is that the plaintiff's prospective customers are the general public that uses the World Wide Web and the social media platforms that plaintiffs are active on. The plaintiffs plead no facts that would show the understanding or agreement with prospective customers to enter in a business relationship that is required by Florida law. Ethan Allen Inc. at 815. Thus, plaintiffs have failed to show the required business relationship with prospective customers, and all of the claims predicated on this theory must be dismissed. PBB's written comments as to taking down the Hales online empire throws this argument out the window. Yeah, and there's the kicker. Like, I mean, it's an interesting argument, but I don't buy it. I wouldn't buy it. Angel, what? You okay? The plaintiffs failed to allege any facts that show any of Matsken's alleged conduct or speech that caused a breach in their relationships with any customer. The plaintiffs claim that Matsken's alleged conduct and speech has interfered with customer relationships. Their claims, however, are devoid of any supporting factual allegations that show or would permit an inference to be drawn that Matsken's conduct and speech caused a breach in their relationships with any identifiable customer. And that's the problem with auctions. That's the problem with online auctions. You don't know your customer. It's not like someone's walking into your store. Yeah. It's it. Mama! Angel, did you drop him? Go get him. Yeah, and this is the other. This is where the online world and the real world collide. It's an interesting juxtaposition. As such, their claim is fatally deficient under Florida law and should be dismissed. I'm just wondering why a Connecticut lawyer feels they're so versed in Florida law. Florida law requires the plaintiffs to prove a business relationship with identifiable customers. And here's the thing. That's the hard part, because it's the internet. It's the internet. You don't know who your customers actually are. Like, I don't know. There's 102 people watching right now. I don't know who all 102 people are. And you're using a screen name. I don't know who the actual person behind that screen name is. So say Susie Q from, I don't know, Susie Q super chats me $10. I don't know who that person actually is. That person's name probably isn't Susie. It's this weird internet world that I don't think our legal system has caught up to the technology that we use. Whatnot has proof that they were getting super high bids from those people, email addresses, names, and some of what the Hales ecosystem use their real names. Guess who it leads back to? Yeah. This lawyer seems to have a more competent writing style. Yeah, and it's concise. I mean, this is a 42-page document and then 10 pages of exhibits. But it is an easier to read document. I know I'm getting sidetracked and we're like, going off the beaten path. And we're only on page 10 after an hour. But at the same time, like, it's easier to read than anything Bruce has ever written. So I don't think I believe his lawyer is the one who wrote this. I don't know how much his lawyer had to go, stop talking to me, don't tell me what to write, just let me do my job, shut up. But yeah. Jeremy has said people have come forward and told him they stopped watching because of this crap. Yeah, and like people's sub counts I've noticed have gone down. So it's like, and there are some people that are so invested in this drama that this is all they watch. And there are some people that are like, I can't watch your channel on days you cover this. I'm like, okay. It's fair. The plaintiffs must also allege sufficient facts that show that a breach in the relationship occurred and the breach in the relationship was caused by Maxkin's conduct. A person interferes with a business relationship between two or more persons if he induces or otherwise causes one of them to terminate the relationship. The plaintiffs have not met their burden to allege such sufficient facts. The plaintiff's amended complaint is bereft of any allegations identifying any customer who complains to have canceled their subscription to the plaintiff's social media platforms because of anything Maxkin said or did. The amended complaint contains no allegations that provide any description that any customer canceled their subscription to the plaintiff's social media platforms because of anything that Maxkin said or did. It alleges nothing to show how many customers did so, or how the plaintiffs even know that they did. It leaves all of those questions open for speculation. That I agree with. And I think Bruce do I think Randy probably should have put some of those in his initial and or amended complaint? Probably. But also that's where discovery is. But he should have put, if I were him, like, I'm not a lawyer, so take this with a grain of salt. But if I was trying to write an amended complaint and I've seen this argument so many times, I would put in there, like, I have we will show, text messages to prove, or, emails to prove that, affidavits to prove that what Maskin said caused people to unsubscribe. So, Jeremy has a forensic accountant involved, and if I understand right, noops, there's evidence. Yeah, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, like, the argument that this lawyer is making is that it's not in the complaint. So you might have it, but you didn't say that you have it. And it's one of those things of, like, how do we know you have it if you don't tell it? Like, you can say it on a platform, or Jeremy can say it on a stream all day, or in a video, but if it's not in a document. So if I were Randy, I would have been like, forensic documents will show, or, the metadata will show. I would have put that somewhere. I would have fit that in. Yeah, just enough. Yeah, a complaint never shows all the cards. Just enough juice to get the complaint accepted. Yes, but I would have put it, because this is the argument that's always used. And it's seemingly always used against Randy. It's the complaint that I've seen used against Randy the most. Is that there's no evidence, like, you're not putting, and I would put, you don't need to be like Justin Baldoni and putting like every freaking text message in the original complaint and making the original complaint 270 pages. That was freaking ridiculous to go through. But hey, Freckled Ginger, how are? Isn't that what comes out in Discovery? Yeah, but like, and I know you can't put all the evidence in the complaint. The complaint is the alleged defense. This not everyone does. The original is laying the base, not the evidence, not specifics. Yes, but to get around this argument that's constantly used against him. Because I have seen lawyers put text messages and stuff in their complaints. I would have put like text messages will show, or forensic accounting will show, to show that you have, like, Oh, Taz, happy birthday. It's good to see you. Oh, oh, sorry. Trying not to die. Oh. Oh. Y'all, I got about another 20 minutes in me, and that's about all I got. So we're gonna find a good stopping place, and we'll get the rest of this tomorrow. The plaintiffs claim that Maskin has caused them $1,229,000 in damages because of his alleged interference, and they predicate that with claim on the loss of revenue streams that they would have otherwise retained in the absence of his interference. They do not identify what revenue streams they have lost or what the factual basis for their damages is. In sum, nothing that the plaintiffs allege provides the court with any well-pleaded factual basis to conclude that a breach in any relationship between any customer and the plaintiffs occurred, or that it was fairly attributable to Maskin's conduct. They leave the court and Maskin to speculate. That speculation is precisely the kind of label and more mere legal conclusion that the motions to dismiss standard is designed to prevent. Ashcroft v. Iqbal. Florida courts have reinforced the principle that, in the pleading stage, plaintiffs must identify the customers who were the subjects of the alleged interference. Circus v. Pafford Oil Company. See also Bortel v. White Mountains Insurance Group. Maskin does not suggest that this is a high bar, but it is not too much to ask at the pleading stage for the plaintiffs to identify at least one subscriber or customer who has stopped doing business with the plaintiff because of Maskin's alleged conduct. This is particularly true when plaintiff has a boast of subscription fan base of over 730,000 people across the world just for their YouTube channel, and are claiming that Maskin's alleged tortious interference cost them $1,229,000. Reasons dictate one of two conclusions if the plaintiff allegations are true. First, Maskin's alleged tortious interference was so harmful in the aggregate that plaintiffs have become inundated with canceled subscriptions and lost customers who blamed Matskin's alleged interference for ending the relationship with plaintiffs. If that is true, then plaintiffs should have no problem at all in the pleading. In pleading the identity of at least one such subscriber customer. And see, that's the thing. They should have. That's what I would have done just to get around this. That's just my personal. See, not good with names. See, that's the thing. I can breathe through my nose just fine. My sinuses are good. My mom bought me some small bottles of whiskey yesterday, but there's evidence of that, yes, but there was no contract, and that's the chicken and egg. Yeah. Then the what's the light company? The light company. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The flashlight thing. I just can't remember what it is. LP wasn't a mod for Lisa. Lisa was due to an 80s band show that included Robbie as a guest. The show was one of Jeremy's friends' channel. And I don't know the relationships with. Oh, thank you. And I don't know the relationships with between those people. And relationships between creators are complicated. You'd be surprised at who knows who and who talks to who, that you would have never thought these two people would get along. And that's one of the reasons I stream alone a lot, because I don't have to have big panels where I have to navigate who doesn't get along with who and all of that stuff. Second, if the havoc allegedly wreaked by Matskins exceeds $1 million and is not caused by aggregate effect, then the plaintiff should have no problem identifying the particular relationship or relationships that ended because of his interference and cost the plaintiffs that much money. I do agree that is a lot of money, but I don't have access to Jeremy's financials, so I don't know what they're bringing in, but to even think that amount of, to even fathom that amount of money from YouTube and storage auctions, I'm like, oh my god, I wouldn't be living in this tiny ass little house. The pleading doesn't require anything other than what the complaint says. However, all the evidence has to be brought forward during the discovery process. No lawyer would ever show their cards. But I've seen this, and I've seen this pleading used a lot, or this argument used a lot, not just against Randy, but a lot of lawyers, where they fail to state a claim, or they fail to show, fail to state a claim. And it's like, it's just weird. You would think that would be what discovery is for, but I'm also not a lawyer, and I never claimed to be a lawyer. It's just this, I do know lawyers that have put and made their complaints extremely long because they have put all of this in. Justin Baldoni's lawyer put text messages upon text messages in his initial complaint and an amended complaint, and that amended complaint was 278 pages long. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Discovery is not even complete on the first case yet. This is the second case. Discovery is not even done on the first case. It's like, where is this? When is this ever going to end? Oh, yes. Musi and I on the 13th, if I have a voice, well, she's going to be doing most of the work. We'll be doing readings, live readings, Friday the 13th at 3 p.m. Eastern. So it'll be before FNL, before the pre-party. So, Look at the response for MLS. They can easily provide the evidence. The response that MLS's lawyer gave, that was put in a couple days ago too. I just haven't, obviously, Wait one. And hey, Sweetfly. No response back with the information. Oh, the response. The amended complaint. I saw Baldoni dropped his suit. Was it a deal made among parties? I don't know. I was going to cover that case, and then it just got too ridiculous even for me. Between the Laura Owens drama, this drama, and Hollywood drama, which I care even less about, it was like, it was nah. See ya. 2037. It will end in 2037, and then the appeals will start. Yeah. I just can't. They have done neither, and because common sense is a stubborn critic, it points to a third reason. The plaintiffs cannot identify a relationship with scrubbers or customers that have lost because of Maskin's alleged tortious interference because they cannot. Their claim fails. Additionally, I don't agree with that, but nice try. I don't blame this kid for trying. And I call him a kid because he's younger than me. I'm pretty sure. Anybody who's younger than me lately, I call a kid. God, I'm that old. Additionally, the court should be incredibly cautious about permitting the plaintiffs to proceed on their claims since the defendants are already in the process of showing that plaintiffs have selectively crafted their allegations to omit context and facts that contradict their theories. For instance, defendant Helms has already shown in the court that the plaintiff's selective pleading presented a false statement that was engineered to survive a motion to dismiss by omitting crucial context. Maskin shows below that the plaintiffs have omitted critical context with respect to the plaintiff's allegations as to his contact with whatnot. In other words, the plaintiff's deliberate choices to omit critical context to nudge meritless claims past a motion to dismiss to cast doubt on the reasonableness of interfering that they will be able to identify specific customers at a later stage of this case and show that Maskin's alleged conduct that caused the breach in the relationships. Thus, the plaintiffs have failed to plead the facts to show identifiable relationships with a single current customer that was breached because of Maskin's alleged conduct, and all of their claims predicate on this theory must be dismissed. There is no U.S. Constitution right to a speedy trial in civil cases. I've dealt with ones that were 3 to 7 years, and saw recently there was one 20 plus years. They can go on for a while. They suck. Yeah, there's that case that's still ongoing, where Andrew Brigada and company sued the Department of Transportation in 2015 over the air traffic control stuff, which is another side effect of over their hiring practices, which is going back to the ATC stuff that I've covered with Spawn Trooper. It's kind of that it started back in 2015. So the people that are trying to blame Trump, I'm like, this issue started before he was even president. This issue started before I graduated high school. But I digress. That is 10 years old. There's hundreds of filings, and that suit hasn't gone anywhere. And it's 10 years. 10 years. And figure out nothing. All right, and I think this is where I'm about to I'm going to cut it off on page 14 because my voice is starting to get hard to talk. So I'm going to try to get the little down for a nap, feed her lunch, and then get her down for a nap. And I'm going to rest my voice, and because I have to work tonight too, and I'm a nap myself. So we are on page 14. We are at part C. We will get through this tomorrow morning. I will do it tomorrow morning because I'm streaming with Spawn tomorrow afternoon, going over the ATC. Tomorrow afternoon at 2:45, we are going over the air traffic control plan that Sean Duffy has to renovate all of our air traffic control in the United States. Every tower in the U.S. All of it. Is expensive, but as I've been told by controllers, it cannot be done one at a time. It has to be done all at once. So it's going to be expensive. We're going to discuss it, break it down, and he's going to be reading a lot of it because I can't. So I will read this tomorrow morning at probably 9 a.m. I will see you guys tomorrow. Sandy, thank you. The thing is I overall feel a lot better. Like I have a lot more energy. It's just, this is just one of the last, one of the last things to come back. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for dealing with the vocal fry and the ASMR voice in that not cute way. Y'all have a great day. I think that I have the stream set up to go to, let's see. I think that I have it set up to redirect to Mow in the Deep End, but let me check just to make sure. Oh, I apparently don't. I must not have hit save. We're going to go to Mow in the Deep End, Karen Reed. Y'all have fun with Karen Reed. Hi, guys. I will see you on the next one. Bye.